Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of the Uplift. I'm so glad I'm here. I love taking this 15-minute break, this time out during my day to come chat with you and for you to come sit and listen and take that time out for yourself. It is so wonderful when we get to sit together and just recognize spirit, recognize that it is the foundation of our lives, all lives. So welcome, thank you. Let's start in prayer where everything begins. I give great thanks for this day. I am so humbled and grateful for this life of spirit and form that I am, knowing it is true for all. That everything in the manifest universe is simply the outpicturing of the energy which is spirit. It is a thought God is having right here and now. You are a thought God is having right now. I am. And everything in the manifest universe is an idea that Spirit came up with, absolutely filling it with substance from itself, never being absorbed by its creations. We know that there is one life. It is God's life. It is whole and perfect and complete. It is the life of everyone and everything in the manifest universe. Behind the diversity of all things stands the one, the eternal, the beloved we call God. And so we give that time over right now to Spirit, to allow it to lead the way through this uplift, through this conversation, so that we can go deeper, understanding even at a deeper level what this means to us. I step aside, I let God be God right through this conversation. And so it is. Amen. So good afternoon, welcome. We have our lead in to Memorial Day weekend, right? This is wonderful. This is my birthday week also. See the flowers, isn't that lovely? Oh my gosh, Patricia Coughlin, who is our volunteer coordinator, she gave these flowers yesterday at our Sunday service. Lori Sheets presented that wonderful frog. You see the frog there as gift from Micah Leslie, the core council president. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. And TK was here, and Shar Irvin, and Reverend Diane, and Mitch, and Vicky were here. Oh, it was so wonderful to see some faces, to see some people here. It's coming. Little by little, we're getting more and more people, sneaking in to take a peek at what's going on in the sanctuary as we prepare for the grand opening. But I just wanted to say thanks again for the lovely birthday surprise for all of the members of Vision that had something to do with these beautiful flowers and that lovely frog. Remember frog, F-R-O-G, fully rely on God. That's why the frog. I'm so blessed. I feel so loved. Thank you, Core Council. Thank you, members of Vision. It's just so memorable, and it touched me deeply. Thank you for that. So if you did hear the talk yesterday, you know that I was talking about, lifting off and then re-entering our lives at a newer level, at a higher level of consciousness. And I spoke a little bit about balance and how we need balance. We have to balance our lives between the being and the doing, and the doing and the being, and the joke about, do, be, do, just like Frank Sinatra's song. We have to balance the doing and the being. And we have to balance the activity and the inactivity. So I thought, what better thing to start today off with than the quality of God known as balance. So I have my notes here that I had from the 2 CD set, The Qualities of God. I don't know if you purchased it or not, but they're still available. So you can contact us. We will send you out that 2 CD set of the 12 qualities of God. But I pulled up my notes on balance, and I wanted to just go a little deeper into that today, because I had mentioned it yesterday, that we need to balance our lives between the inner work and the outer work. And this is the microcosm. Our lives are the microcosm of the macrocosm that is God. And we know that spirit and soul and body make up that divine creative process. We know that love is the activating force behind it, and we know that law is the action that gets it done, the mold that our thoughts are poured into, that then produce something at the physical level that we call a manifestation or a demonstration or a physical condition. So we know how it works. And it's a balance of the inner work we do and the outer work, the being receptive and then being active. So I want to talk a little bit about balance, because we have it all around us all the time. There is a balance between day and night. There's a balance in all of the seasons. There's a balance between activity and inactivity, right? Balance of rest and action. We have balance really all of our lives, whether or not we're paying attention to it. What I have found recently is that we may have become out of balance. And really, it might be a result of the sheltering in place, because we're having to do things differently. A lot of our life right now revolves around the computer, doesn't it? We are on Zoom meetings. We are working, we are distance working from our home. We are sitting a lot more than ever, because we're not even commuting to go to work, right? We just get up from the bedroom, go to the kitchen, go to the living room, we're at work, you know? So there may be some imbalances coming up. We're scrolling on social media, we're checking our phones a lot more, we're checking in with our computers, we're taking pictures of the food we eat. That may not be very new, but it's just weird. Anyway, we're doing a lot more in one place than ever. And so maybe that's a little out of balance. That might be throwing us out of balance a bit. Get up more, walk more, take those breaks. Even if you walk around your house, walk around the inside of the house, then walk around the outside of the house. Get to a point where we have balance, the activity and the inactivity. You know, think about a teeter-totter, right, when you were a child. If you're sitting on the teeter-totter and there's nobody on the other side, you're just sitting on the ground by yourself. There is no up and down. There is no seesaw. There is no ride. There's just you sitting on the ground at one end of the teeter-totter. That's out of balance, right? That's out of balance. So you really need to provide that balance for yourself. And in the physical world, as well as the balance between your spiritual life, your inner life, and your outer life. And this is what I touched on briefly yesterday at the talk, is that when there is something for us to do in the outer world, whether it is applying for a new job or moving to another city or buying a new house or researching to buy a new car or whatever it is, first the inner work must be done. First the prayer, first the meditation, first the affirmations, first the intention must be set. The inner work has to be done because Spirit will guide us and direct us on what to do next. So when we are fully immersed in the inner work, intuition will tell us. That still small voice will guide us and direct us and never, ever, ever set us wrong. So that when we come out of meditation or we come out of prayer, there's an aha of, I know what to do next. I know what next footstep there should be. So that's the balance that we want to strike. The balance between the being and the doing. The balance between the inner life, just perfectly still and immersed in Spirit, and then as we resume life in the outer world, to know with confidence, this is the next step for me. I know it. Spirit whispered it in my ear. I know that this is the next thing for me to do. And I have a quote here about balance, and this is from The Anatomy of Healing Prayer by Dr. Ernest Holmes. He says this, he said, that God and the nature, the universe, withholds nothing from anyone. It is all delivered. And this is what I interpret as the Christian theology of grace. Not grace because Jesus was a good guy. That's weakness. Grace because the universe is itself infinite givingness. Just think about that for a minute. The universe itself is infinite givingness. he goes on to say, it can't help it. That is its nature. And because it is in our experience, only the one who gives all gets all. This is that cycle of giving and receiving. This is the law, really, right, of eternal return, of giving and receiving. The one who gives all gets all. There is justice without judgment. And that is justice that is merely the balance and the equilibrium of the universe. So everything is in balance. There is a balance and a harmony to all of life. And when we are in alignment with that, meaning we are in the flow ourselves, we are giving, we are of service, we are, doing the work of spirit on earth, we are fully supported. We are fully supported by spirit. And so the balance in our lives is a reflection, right? It is a reflection of the balance of the universe. And we get clues from all around us. We get clues from all around us on how to be in balance and how to live our lives in balance. We have, look at even our four seasons, right? Spring with the little baby sprouts, and then summer you have the bloom, you have the full expression of nature, just like that, right? Just like that. The full bloom of nature is on display. Autumn, you have the harvest, where we collect in, we gather in our good. And then winter, as the ground lies fallow. But is it really? Is it really fallow? Because what lies beneath, again, is more expression of God, isn't it? What lies beneath, although the ground can be is still and dead looking, we know that beneath lies new life, right? Like the bulbs that the tulips bloom. Those bulbs lie beneath the ground. For all intent and purposes, it looks like it's a dead, fallow, planting area. But then spring comes around again. So there is a balance and a harmony to everything. And when we see it, when we recognize it, we know that our life also reflects that same balance. And we have to be conscious of it. We have to we have to court it in our lives. We have to give ourselves time. I know that there is a quote, and I'm going to paraphrase here, by Mother Teresa, who said, "Oh, I have such a busy day today. I have so much to do today. I better double my meditation," right? When most of us would go, "Oh, wait, I have too much to do today. I won't meditate at all." She claimed her truth. I have so much to do. I better double up on my meditation so that I can allow Spirit to do through me what needs being done by me. And that's also the way that we demonstrate balance in our lives. And we tend to want all the good stuff, right? We want the springs and summers. We want to fall in love. We want the rainbows, and we want the puppy kisses. We want all of that sweet and delicious and juicy part of life. But, we don't like sometimes the falls and the winters. We don't like it when the ground lies fallow. We don't like it when nothing looks like it's changing, and nothing looks like it's growing, and nothing looks like it's going our way. But it is, right? We have this faith philosophy that knows that it knows that there is good in your life. There is good, right, that Emma Curtis Hopkins said, there is good in the universe and you ought to have it. We know that as we claim our good, as we align with these principles, as we open ourselves up to a greater experience of God, that we get that. We get that demonstration. And I've been thinking about it too, even those negative, what we would consider negative, right? Let's put a little quotation marks around negative. What we would consider negative experiences, they also open and awaken us to things, right? They might point the way to something that needs change in our lives. And in fact, that's how I started Sunday's talk, right? We don't change things that look like they're great. We don't make change in our lives if everything looks like it's going well. and we're loving our life, we don't go, love it, let's change it up, you know? We don't do that. So sometimes those negative activities in our lives, those negative conditions or events that occur in our lives are a tap on the shoulder to say, you've outgrown this, it's time to move on, it's time to change something, it's time to have a new thought about this. And that's what those negative events in our lives or conditions might be nudging, you know, the little nudge, the little tap on the shoulder so you don't get hit with the 2x4. Change with the tap on the shoulder, right? Recognize the negative condition as, oh, Spirit is calling me to look at this again, to change it. Maybe it no longer applies to me. Maybe this was a great thing for the me I was, but is it serving the me I am today? Because I think that's why we have some of those negative experiences. We have outgrown that situation. And it's Spirit's tender way of saying, tap, tap, wake up, you know, you're beyond this now. You need to invite a new experience into your life. And that's some of the, you know, that's how I interpret some of those negative experiences and how we, again, move into balance. You know, if we never changed anything in our lives, we would be still trying to squeeze ourselves into our children's shoes. We'd still be trying to do those, you know, games that we did as children, but we don't, because we outgrow things and we change things. Here's another quote I just wanted to leave you with balance. I thought it was a wonderful thing. It's about the universal concept of balance. It's from the Science of Mind textbook. Ernest Holmes writes, we would say that the law is an attribute of God. God did not make the law, it coexists with the eternal. Right? When we say God is love, well, but law coexists. They exist together. The infinite law and infinite intelligence are but two sides of infinite unity. Isn't that lovely? Like two sides of a coin, love and law. One balances the other, and they are the great personal and impersonal principles of the universe. So there it is on an impersonal level, on a universal level, right? The macrocosm, balance, the love, the law, the word and the soil to create new in our lives, and the microcosm, our personal use of it, and how when we remain conscious, we can be in alignment with this quality of God known as balance. And so our inner life and our outer life are equally important. Our inner life points the way. Our outer life shows us the way and what to do. So I'm going to leave it there, and we'll pray out, and we'll come back and talk about another quality on Friday. So please join me in prayer. I give great thanks, knowing it is such a blessing to come together with you in prayer, to come together in this time to share, to explore the qualities of God, to go even deeper than before, to understand at a greater level, at a deeper level, that our lives are one instant in the eternal life of God's, and that we are demonstrating God in form, God in action, God in balance. Giving great thanks, I simply let it be. And so it is. Amen. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for the birthday flowers and the frog. Remember to fully rely on God. Love you dearly. Looking forward to seeing you in this sanctuary soon. We'll have more information regarding that this coming Sunday. And I will see you on Friday for another edition of the Uplift. I'll have another quality of God. Don't know which one it's going to be yet, but it'll serve. I'm sure it'll serve you. From my heart to yours, Vision, sending buckets of love your way. See you Friday. Bye-bye.